man. His family is calling for accountability.
I'm Catherine Silver in Seminole County, where this home caught fire this week. We're learning the family inside escaped with just the clothes on their back and their dog.
Sam Sula residents here in Volusia County say they have a dangerous road on their hands and they need help. I'm Molly Reed. Coming up, we're going to the county to see what solutions they're going to be putting in place.
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at 4 p.m.
We begin this afternoon with this body cam video, which is giving us a more complete look at what happened the night Titusville police shot and killed a 25-year-old.
Last month, the state attorney's office determined that the officer's actions were lawful and justified. News 6's Mike Valenti joins us now live outside Titusville City Hall. So, Mike, police just released this unedited video of the shooting last month. What is that video showing us?
Yeah, first off, the people behind me inside City Hall aren't saying much about those two unedited videos, like you said, but the videos we obtained was through a public records request. They are unedited. We ended up sending those videos to Tremaria Charles' mother, Samantha Charles. We're talking about one video, body camera footage. The other video is dash cam footage.
The investigation into Tremaria Charles' death ended last month with no charges, much to the dismay of Charles' family, who still seek accountability. And the unedited videos we got our hands on Thursday have only strengthened their resolve. We sent both the dash cam and body cam footage to Samantha Charles, who told me, quote, "The video speaks for itself." And she asked rhetorically, where was he a threat? We've seen snippets of both the body cam and dash cam footage before. They were included in an 18-minute edited video last month that was accompanied by commentary from Titusville Police Chief John Lau. But for the first time, we see the dash cam angle of Charles running from police, and we see the raw body cam footage. State Attorney William Shiner determined last month that the footage he had reviewed showed Charles running from police after officers responded to a house that had come under scrutiny by police. The state attorney found that after Charles tripped over steps, he dropped a gun, then proceeded to try to hit an officer before rearming himself. That's when two officers opened fire.
Hey, give me your hand! Give me your other hand!
And in the video, you can hear Charles multiple times say, "I'm dead."
So we have reached out to the chief of police, John Lau. He has not gotten back to us as of this story. I also spoke to the Titusville mayor, Andrew Connors. He said that he hadn't seen the public records request that we obtained, those two unedited videos, so I sent him them. I asked if he was going to watch them. He didn't give me a definitive answer, so we're still waiting to see how he responds once he watches them, if he does in fact watch them. We're live outside Titusville City Hall. Mike Valenti, News 6.
Mike, thank you. We are learning a tree fell and crushed a car, killing the driver inside. It happened this morning in Wildwood in Sumter County on Marsh Bend Trail near McNeil Drive. This video shows crews towing the car away. Police say the driver was headed southbound when the tree fell onto the vehicle. They were the only person inside the car at the time and died at the scene. Wildwood police say the tree fell naturally.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials will be given access to the personal data of the nation's 79 million Medicaid enrollees. This includes home addresses and ethnicities. According to an agreement obtained by the Associated Press, this will help them track down immigrants who may not be living legally in the United States. The agreement was signed Monday between the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and the Department of Homeland Security. The agreement has not been announced publicly.
This just into the newsroom now. The White House has announced President Trump has been examined for swelling in his legs, and a doctor diagnosed him with chronic venous insufficiency. Now, that is a common condition for people over the age of 70. The White House says the 79-year-old president also had lab testing that came back normal and showed no signs of heart failure.
Well, if you've been outside, we don't need to tell you, but it is hot and humid with showers and storms popping up on the radar. And check out the wet roads on the 408. This is near Alafaya. Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas is taking a closer look at what's going on out there. Jonathan.
Yeah, we're watching these guys fire up along I-95 and then kind of drift back towards the northwest. So all this mess that you see to the east of I-4 tonight, that's along the East Coast sea breeze. The West Coast sea breeze is also trying to fire up. That's what's bringing us the thunderstorms around Denellen on the south side of Ocala. All of this is kind of lifting up to the north as well. Eventually, we're going to see some pushback as the East Coast sea breeze works its way to the west of Orlando, and that's where we're going to expect the most widespread action in terms of the thunderstorms, especially later on tonight, mainly after 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Some of those storms could linger. Coming up in about 15 minutes, I'm going to show you the future radar so that you can plan your evening ahead and talk about lower rain chances heading into the upcoming weekend, guys, coming up at about 4:17.
See you then, Jonathan. Thank you. We are learning new details about a house fire in Seminole County this week.
A family escaped in the middle of the night with just the clothes on their backs and their dog. News 6's Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver shares their story, which was captured in their call for help.
It's okay, baby.
A mother on the line with 911, watching the home where her family lives burn down.
Tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. The garage is on fire.
The newly released recordings depict the panic.
Has everyone in the home evacuated?
We're outside. Oh my God, please.
The fast-spreading fire igniting fireworks.
Oh my God.
It's the middle of the night in this neighborhood near Sanford's airport.
It's going all into the house. Oh my God.
By the time firefighters arrived at this scene on Blue Rock Drive, the fire had already spread to the attic.
She was pretty panicked because it was late at night.
Michael Broadnack says his daughter lives a few doors down.
They were just concerned about the family inside, right? And, you know, because they was thinking, now, next house than them, you know?
The fire department says the family who lives here is okay, but the damage is so severe that they have to stay somewhere else. Fire investigators believe the fire started in the garage unintentionally.
According to my daughter, it was blazing so strong that it's really a miracle that they got out all in one piece. But the worst news is they lost everything.
In Seminole County, Catherine Silver, News 6.
A man accused of exposing himself inside a local business before trying to abduct a child will be held on no bond. 55-year-old Timothy Hall appeared before a judge this afternoon. Daytona Beach police say Hall was caught on surveillance video inside a business on West International Speedway Boulevard where he exposed himself. They say he also tried to grab a child's arm before running off. Now, this all happened last Friday. Police say he was arrested in Jacksonville on Monday and was extradited to Daytona Beach. Hall is facing charges of attempted kidnapping and lewd or lascivious exhibition.
Today, the City of Orlando's Appearance Review Board discussed Camping World Stadium's renovations. This comes about 2 weeks after we showed you the city's new vision for the almost 90-year-old stadium. Renderings provided by DLR Group Incorporated show plans to modernize the outside and increase the stadium's seating to 65,000, helped in large part by the addition of an upper bowl on the north side and the rebuilding of the upper seating bowls on the east and west sides of the stadium. No action was required during today's board meeting.
Taking a live look over downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera, we want to give you a heads up. There will be another anti-Trump protest in downtown Orlando this evening. It's something that's also happening in Altamont Springs, Sanford, and other parts of Florida and the country. The organization behind the protest is called Good Trouble Lives On. More than 1,600 locations are participating. The group is calling today, quote, a national day of action to respond to, quote, the attacks on our civil and human rights by the Trump administration. The organization was created in honor of the late Congressman John Lewis. He was a civil rights activist who served 33 years in Congress. He encouraged people to participate in Good Trouble to advance their causes. The protests in Orlando starts at 5.
People living in this Volusia County community say they are seeing roads getting more and more dangerous. We're talking about Glencoe Road. Leaders are now working to find some solutions. Your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed shows us the problem and what the county is hoping to do.
You can see there's a sharp bend on South Glencoe Road here. Now, this may look like a residential area, but it's actually the main cut through from New Smyrna Beach down to Edgewater if you're not on I-95, so hundreds are using this every day. Now, the folks who live around here They say this bend is dangerous, especially with the drivers coming down, ignoring the speed reduction signs.
You know, it's a high-speed section here. You can see not too many people slow down, not even trucks.
Neighbors sent us these videos and pictures. Cars, trucks, even dump trucks and 18-wheelers flying by towards the bend. One resident on the bend says he's had to replace his fence multiple times. Check out these photos of an SUV that recently went airborne on the curb and landed on his fence.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm surprised it hasn't happened more often.
Those who live here say it's becoming a bigger issue too, with new developments going in all around the road.
This has been my family home since 1978, and I would say it's been an issue at least since they put the traffic light and all the construction out on 44, 2014, 2012.
And finally, they say they're being heard. This week, Volusia County leaders held a neighborhood meeting with the Glencoe Road residents, assuring they would work to find a solution.
There's I want to say approximately about $5 million that we have now dedicated to projects, safety projects throughout Volusia County to help out with areas just like this. And
the county says it has several different solutions, including more signage, lighting, and audio vibratory pavement markings similar to rumble strips to slow drivers down.
He also assured us that he was going to put signs at either side of the road, ends of the road, that there would be local deliveries only, maybe calm down some of the through traffic. I don't know.
And the county says all of these solutions will be put in place within the next few months. I'm your Volusia County community correspondent, Molly Reed, News 6.
Well, first, we were told we can keep our shoes on at airport security, and now changes could soon be coming to liquid carry-ons.
Yeah, we'll explain why coming up. Lewis.
A devastating digital heist has left an Air Force veteran without his life savings. I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden. We investigate how hackers stole more than $500,000 in cryptocurrency. Coming up.
You're watching News 6 at 4. We'll be right back as we take a live look at the turnpike near Wildwood. You can see the rain coming down there. During the break, we are streaming live on Facebook. Search Lisa Bell News on Facebook right now.
News 6 Insider is sponsored by Orange County Library System.
A devastating digital heist has left an Air Force veteran without his life savings. I'm News 6 investigator Louis Bolden. We connected with the U.S. Secret Service to investigate how hackers stole more than $500,000 in cryptocurrency and why experts say this type of crime is becoming more common.
I was shocked. I said, there's no way.
For 8 years, Brandon Page carried his crypto wallet everywhere through deployments in Iraq, Afghanistan, and across the Middle East. The Air Force veteran thought his digital fortune was secure.
And I was so terrified to lose these tokens that I moved them to the Ledger in like 2017.
Ledger is a type of crypto hardware wallet that is unhackable because it's kept offline. Page has since stored it in a safe. But last month, hackers somehow gained access to his digital wallet, stealing 268,357 shares of XRP cryptocurrency.
At the time was 569,000 US dollars.
So you lost $569,000.
Yeah.
Like that.
You know what the price of it is now?
What?
It's about $800,000 at current price today.
News 6 connected Page with Secret Service financial analyst Brian Watson.
So you've seen this many times?
I've seen it a couple of times, yep.
Watson uncovered how it happened.
When he created the account, he took a picture of that seed phrase and emailed it to himself. So one of those email addresses was compromised.
That seed phrase, essentially a password, was all the thieves needed. The Secret Service tracked it, and within days, the crooks moved the money from Page's wallet to their wallet and then fanned it through multiple exchanges, making it nearly impossible to retrieve.
They spread it out. They move a little bit to different parts, and then they cash out a little bit different places. They're good at laundering the proceeds.
The Secret Service is investigating, but chances of recovery are slim. Watson says time is critical in these cases.
The quicker that it's reported to us, the faster we can jump on it, the faster we can get cooperation from exchanges, the faster that we can trace it.
For Page, the loss has tested his resilience.
It's been stressful. It's been stressful. To know that, you took a blow like that is very significant.
Watson says never photograph or email sensitive crypto information and store seed words and passwords offline in a secure location. I'm Louis Bolden, News 6.
That is just heartbreaking when you hear stories like that.
It
A lot
really
of money.
is, yeah.
All right, we want to check in now with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, who once again is pinpointing those afternoon storms for us. They're rocking in some spots right now,
They
Jonathan.
are, especially along the I-75 corridor tonight. We have also some other thunderstorms right along I-95 firing back up. The biggest stuff now closer to the Gulf Coast. Some of this is going to try to push back inland over the next couple of hours as the East Coast sea breeze works its way across the I-4 corridor later on through the evening. Pinpointing that for you right here. There's 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and you see the blow up here. That's because the East Coast sea breeze has made it over. Now, the flow is across the state of Florida, so we're watching a lot of the stuff that's firing up along the West Coast sea breeze now drift back towards the Big Bend. But when the East Coast sea breeze meets up with it, that's going to help more thunderstorms get going later on into the evening. There we go at 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think we're off to a dry start, and I think a lot of the day tomorrow, area-wide, going to be on the drier side. There's lunchtime tomorrow, maybe a stray sprinkle right along the coast. But that's about it until we get into the early afternoon. We'll fire off a few thunderstorms. That's 7 o'clock as you're ending your work week and starting your weekend. There's just going to be a couple of thunderstorms out there. I think a lot of Central Florida is dry starting tomorrow, and that's going to transition right on into the weekend. Here's a live look now at Port Canaveral, Brevard County with our Launch Credit Union camera this evening. We have temperatures into the upper 80s, wish it was upper 70s. We do have the scattered thunderstorms around the airport reporting that right now, as I just showed you there on the radar picture. High temperatures tomorrow get back to the mid-90s in Orlando, 95 in Groveland. Holopah, we are at 94. Rain chances tomorrow dip to 40%, and then they dip even further as we go forward into the weekend. All of this blue on the surface map here represents high pressure. Just watch what happens over the weekend. It expands back into Central Florida even further. Even another little area of high pressure develops over the northeastern Gulf right there, and that's going to help to keep us on the drier side. It's going to help to bring in some drier air as well as we move into the weekend. Look at this. Rain chances dipping to 30% on Saturday, 30% on Sunday, 40% on Monday. It's not until we get back into Tuesday and Wednesday we get back to kind of more normal rain chances for us. So the weekend, I think, is looking pretty dry. 30% may even be conservative. I think there's going to be a few thunderstorms out there, and that's really about it. Looking good on the tropical front. There's still that disturbance to give us all the rain in the North Gulf Coast. It's hanging by Houston. The development window for that one has closed, and there is nothing out there to talk about in the Atlantic. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen.
There are those lower rain chances, but as the rain chances go down, you know the drill, temperatures go up. Look at this on Saturday, 97 degrees. We're keeping things into the mid to upper 90s on Sunday and right on through the start of next work week. 60% chance for rain returns on Tuesday, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. Now is a great time to make sure to download our News 6 weather app. Our hurricane app is built in it, and it will send personalized weather alerts and also gives you access to our radar. All you have to do is search WKMG in your app store. The liquid rule for carry-on bags could be the next airport security overhaul.
What we're learning about the potential change and how it impacts your safety. That's next.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Light Orlando, delivering hope together.
More changes could be coming to airport security.
Yeah, first shoes. Now there may soon be fewer restrictions with carry-on liquid containers. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem hinted about it during an event yesterday. The current policy allows people to carry on liquids in 3.4-ounce containers or smaller. Those containers must go in a quart-size bag. Anything bigger must be put in checked bags.
I mean, the liquids, I'm questioning, so that may be the next big announcement is what size your liquids need to be. We're looking at, our scanners. What we have put in place in TSA, a multi-layered screening process that allows us to change some of how we do security and screening, so it still is safe. It is still a process that is protecting people who are traveling on our airlines, but it has to make sense. It has to actually do something to make you safer.
She did not give details as to if or when changes might be made. Last week, Homeland Security ended the shoes off policy at airport security. Now people can keep their shoes on while going through those checkpoints.
Well, during a time when we are seeing prices rise for just about everything, the same thing could now be happening for visiting the beach.
I believe that they're already expensive as it is.
The changes to parking rates along the coast. That's next.
Plus, we'll show you how a new school is keeping up with the population boom in one of Central Florida's fastest growing communities.
Welcome back. We are following several top stories right now.
A tree fell and crushed a car this morning in Wildwood, killing the driver inside. This happened on Marsh Bend Trail near McNeil Drive. The video shows crews towing that car away. Police say the driver was headed south when the tree fell onto the vehicle. They were the only person inside at the time and died at the scene. Police say the tree appears to have fallen naturally.
A man accused of exposing himself inside a local business before trying to abduct a child will be held on no bond. 55-year-old Timothy Hall appeared before a judge this afternoon. Hall is facing charges of attempted kidnapping and lewd or lascivious exhibition.
And people living in one Volusia County community say they are seeing Glencoe Road getting more and more dangerous. Neighbors sent us videos and pictures showing cars, trucks, and 18-wheelers flying toward a bend in the road. The county says it has several different solutions, including more signage, lighting, and audio vibratory pavement markings, similar to rumble strips to slow down drivers.
And we are tracking some storms on the radar in parts of central Florida.
Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas explains everything we need to know about that if we have plans out and about tonight.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Yeah, right now we kind of are bookending right to the interior of the peninsula. We have a couple of thunderstorms rolling up I-95 and most of the action closer to I-75, but right smack dab in the middle from Apopka to Deltona into Zellwood, Eustis, Mount Dora. We are looking dry, and I think we're going to keep things on the drier side. We're going to be looking towards Lake and Sumter County over the next couple of hours for some extra development, but right now we are nice and quiet other than a few stray showers. Most intense stuff right now is on the western side of Marion County, closer to Ocala, on the west side of Reddick. Again, all of this kind of drifting to the north away from us in Denellen, although the lightning is still close enough to us in Denellen to be a factor. So just keep that in mind if you're getting home over the next half hour or so and planning on taking the dog out. There's still lightning just to your north. Maybe give it another 15-20 minutes and let that system die down. There's 6 to 7 o'clock for your Thursday evening later on tonight, and there's that extra flare-up that could drift right up I-75. Most of the eastern half of central Florida dry for the rest of the evening, so once we see these few downpours and thunderstorms that are south and east of I-4 fizzle out, you are good to go tonight. Don't have anything to worry about. We're going to talk much more about way lower rain chances heading into your weekend coming up at about 4:47, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Now at 4, a local family is demanding answers after their loved one died after being tased by Osceola County deputies. Investigators say it all started with a man running in and out of traffic on Sunday.
His family is now telling News 6's Jarrell Baker deputies are not sharing the autopsy or the body cam video.
Aracelis Rodriguez and her family are desperately searching for answers in the death of her son, 31-year-old Derek Benet Rodriguez.
No mother wants to have her, like, their children gone. So. And he was special to her. That's what he said.
Now, according to a news release, patrol deputies saw Benet Rodriguez running in and out of traffic in the westbound lanes of North Main Street near Vine Street around 6:30 Sunday morning in Kissimmee. Deputies say a fight broke out while trying to restrain him, and that's when a deputy fired a taser and put him in handcuffs. Afterwards, Benet Rodriguez was unresponsive.
When you hear that he was tased and that may have caused his death, just how tough was that for you to hear?
I mean, I don't want her to answer because I know it's hard, but I know, like, it's enraging.
Deputies say that they performed CPR and rushed him to a local hospital where he later died. His cousin, Mara Lim, says they don't believe that the sheriff's office is being completely honest or transparent with her family.
We don't know anything, just a speculation, the theories in our heads that, oh, did they not try? Did they not realize that he wasn't, like, as, like, mentally there as a normal person is, because he was on the spectrum.
The family also says that Benet Rodriguez didn't understand English very well. It's why they're hoping that they get body camera footage and the autopsy report.
Knowing a concrete answer will probably help in a way, just to get there. But I know the loss is something that even over time, it's always going to be there.
Lim says that the sheriff's office told them that they completed an autopsy, but will release the report within the next 13 weeks. The family wants answers now. We reached out to Osceola County Sheriff's Office tonight, but we haven't heard back. In Osceola County, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
We are working to learn more details about a house fire that sent one person to the hospital. This was the scene early this morning on Meridian Way in Pine Hills. That's right off of North Pine Hills Road. Firefighters say when they got to the scene, flames were shooting through the roof. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
Lake County is also seeing a lot of growth, and now a new K-8 school is open. We told you about the ribbon cutting ceremony for Mineola Horizon Academy yesterday. It's right off Hancock Road near the Turnpike. News 6's Lake County community correspondent Mark Lehman shows us how the school is keeping up with the population boom.
The city of Mineola has seen a population increase of nearly 50% in just the past 5 years. With an influx of people, more schools and infrastructure is needed, and that growth actually funded this new school that officially opened yesterday.
2, 3. It's a milestone for Lake County's newest K-8 school and continued transformation for a once small town.
I just can't wait to see their faces light up when they walk in.
Andrea Nelson is the principal of Mineola Horizon Academy, which has an academic focus on aviation and aerospace.
Our students from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade will have opportunities to interact with drones and coding and engineering.
The campus is also welcoming more than 900 students, giving relief to nearby schools.
I'm down on the south end. It's no secret. There's been tremendous growth.
A big reason for why the school is needed is all of the new homes surrounding it. The school district says 100% of the $65 million project was funded by impact fees from new housing units.
It's our lifeline for growth, and there's no way we could build a facility as fabulous as this without impact fees.
Mineola is a prime example for the county's growth with an explosion in real estate. And planning for the future is the mission of Mineola Horizon Academy, giving students an environment to cultivate their success.
It's so bright, it's so welcoming, and I just can't wait to see our students and our families.
Here at Mineola Horizon, some finishing touches are still being made around campus, but students and families will get a chance to tour the school at a Meet the Teacher event on August 6th. That is 5 days before the first day of school. I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Mark Lehman, News 6.
In less than 1 hour, you will have another chance to weigh in on plans to connect the 417 to Sanford's airport. Leaders have been talking about the best way to do that for nearly 2 decades now, and in that time, Seminole County has continued to grow. Currently, drivers take a 4-lane stretch of Lake Mary Boulevard to the airport. A proposed toll road would give drivers another option. The preferred route starts near Lake Jessup Toll Plaza and heads northeast, but that route cuts through homes and properties.
We bought here as a long-term investment. They're about to take our property values and it will be diminished.
I've been here 4 years and we've noticed a definite increase in traffic on Lake Mary Boulevard.
The preferred route will be presented to the Central Florida Expressway Authority in October. The estimated cost of the project is around $200 million. It would take years to complete if leaders approve it. Tonight's public meeting starts at 5:30 at the Sanford Civic Center.
And in just a few hours, leaders in Palm Bay are set to talk about the city's school zone speed cameras. They first went online last summer, but the program has been suspended twice because police say they have seen inaccurate violations. The police department is now asking to use an extra $6,000 in revenue from the tickets to cover administrative expenses and the nearly 300 pending hearings from people disputing their citations. Tonight's meeting is set for 6 o'clock. And a heads up now, your next beach day could cost you a little bit more. Leaders in Cocoa Beach are thinking about raising parking rates. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is in Brevard County with what you can expect.
Potentially increasing the price to park in Cocoa Beach is something that residents here tell me will impact their finances and make it harder for people who are visiting the city to enjoy everything it has to offer.
What do you think about the price?
It shouldn't be even a price for parking, to be honest with you, because there's plenty of space.
While some tourists aren't happy with the cost to park in Cocoa Beach, others think it's inevitable wherever you go.
I feel $5-6 an hour is not too much, at least for me.
For some who live and play in the area, an increase could strain their wallets.
I believe that they're already expensive as it is.
And make it harder for visitors to enjoy the city.
I feel like every time I'm trying to have people in town, it's hard to accommodate for them, and there feels like there could be better solutions.
Here are some of the price changes the commission is considering. Increasing per hour parking from $5 to $6, making per-day parking at non-parks $20, up from the current $15, and raising all-day parking at parks and garages by $5 from $20 to $25.
What would you like to see change in terms of parking? A lot more of it and a lot more affordable. I think that there's ways to make it more affordable. I don't think that it needs to be what it is right now. I definitely think that more reasonable rates for people that are even visiting passes, things like that, things that are more accessible so that all of our residents and visitors can enjoy.
I did reach out to the city of Cocoa Beach to ask why they're considering increasing the parking prices, but no one was available for an interview. That meeting is set for tonight at 6:30. Reporting in Cocoa Beach, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
A local teacher may be Florida's next Teacher of the Year. A Flagler County teacher is one of the 5 finalists. News 6's Laverne McGee joins us now live from the newsroom with this pretty exciting story, Laverne.
It is, Ginger. She is a 7th grade civics teacher who teaches about government and civic responsibility. Governor Ron DeSantis was in Orlando today to award the finalists. Brandy Nicole Anderson is among 5 of the finalists for the 2026 Florida Teacher of the Year. This video is from Flagler School's website, and it shows her finding out she's a state finalist. The website also says she's a 7th grade civics and social studies teacher at Indian Trails Middle School in Palm Coast. She has been for 10 years and has worked in education for 16. Governor Ron DeSantis presented her and the other 4 finalists with a $20,000 award and spoke about the new focus on civics education.
I mean, I had people in some other states like almost come to tears that a state was taking civics this serious, because like we've been trying to do this for a long time.
State finalists were chosen from nearly 175,000 public school teachers. The winner will be announced later today, so good luck to Ms. Anderson.
Absolutely. That is
Fingers
very
crossed.
exciting, Laverne. Thank you. A first of its kind medical helicopter is getting ready to fly over Central Florida.
We're walking you through all of the new life-saving features that sets this chopper apart from the rest. Jonathan.
Just a couple of thunderstorms out there right now. Most of the action west of I-75. We'll likely see a few areas blow back up. Inland, further east of that, we're going to pinpoint that in the timeline in a few minutes.
You're watching News 6, a live look now at our camera. This is Daytona Beach. And don't forget, you can watch local news and weather 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the News 6 Plus streaming app. It's free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
When it comes to emergencies, every second counts, and a quick response can save lives.
Yeah, and with that in mind, a specialized air care helicopter is being unveiled in Orlando. News 6's Mark Lehman is taking us inside.
A vital tool for saving lives is getting ready to take flight for Orlando Health.
How's the handle up there?
It's super smooth. It's awesome. It feels great.
Scott Halquist is an air care flight nurse and says this is the 5th aircraft in Orlando Health's fleet.
This aircraft has 5 blades now instead of 4. It has a much larger fuel capacity.
But with much more room than a typical air care helicopter, it's a first of its kind in the U.S.
In the back cabin is much larger than our previous models of aircraft. A lot more working room, a lot more capability back there for us.
That also means the ability for more specialized equipment to respond to pediatric emergencies.
He fell down and he was unfortunately suctioned to the bottom of the pool and caught by the drain.
Chris Benway's son Grayson nearly drowned after a pool accident last fall. As a firefighter, he knew every second counted when calling 911.
I said, hey, listen, I have a pediatric trauma alert requesting air support.
And with Grayson fully recovered, he's able to reunite with some of the team that saved his life. Benway says he's happy to see this specialized helicopter joining the fleet and has a message of water safety for parents.
God willing, he's still here with us today, and we just hope that we can help tell his story to help prevent an accident happening to somebody else.
This new chopper will be stationed in the Apopka area and be available to transport trauma patients here to Orlando. It officially goes into service next week. For now, reporting in Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Wow.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, and we truly are fortunate to have a resource like that in our community because there's
100%.
so many places across the country that don't have anything like that.
And you don't know how important it is until you need it.
Absolutely.
All right, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas is here now with a look at our forecast,
Yep.
and it looks like it's a typical afternoon.
It is, yeah. We have the thunderstorms mainly west of 75 right now. Everything pushing the west coast sea breeze, kind of letting everything go. There's no resistance back to the east. The flow is across the Florida Peninsula. The couple of thunderstorms we're watching closer to Satellite Beach and Rockledge, those have fizzled out, but those storms going to continue to push towards the Big Bend. Likely going to see a few more thunderstorms fire up around Lake County into Sumter County, parts of Marion County as well, as we have the rest of the East Coast or West Coast sea breeze try to fire back up. There's 4 to 5 o'clock into your afternoon where we are right now, and there's that little flare up of thunderstorms later on this evening after about 6, 7 o'clock. May try to linger just right along 75. I think most of us are going to be dry the further east you are from this point on into the evening. Tomorrow morning, I think we start things off on the dry side. And a lot of the afternoon is also going to be on the dry side. I think tomorrow is a transition to a pretty dry and a pretty atypical weather pattern for this time of the year for this part of the country. There you go, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a few scattered thunderstorms popping with the heating of the day. That's 7 to 8 o'clock, and that's really all she wrote going forward into your Friday evening. Now here's a look at tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Ramjack.
Temperatures tomorrow heating up just a little bit, back to the mid-90s in Oviedo. We're at 94, 90 in New Smyrna Beach. Rain chances down to 40%, and that trend is going to continue right on in through your weekend. Great opportunity for the beach, I think, over the next couple of days. Gorgeous shot here, just a few clouds in the foreground over the Atlantic. Temperatures currently at the beach, 84 degrees. Sensor picking up on that thunderstorm nearby right along the I-95 corridor. I mentioned it was going to be good for the beach. Again, we could be likely heading into our hottest stretch of the year so far this summer. The hottest temperature at the official reading at the Orlando International Airport has been 96. We're forecasting hotter than that as we move into Saturday. And then we're going to keep that mid to upper 90 theme going right on into the early stages of next work week. That coincides with the much lower rain chances that we have rolling right on through your weekend as well. You know the drill. When the temperatures are up, the rain chances are more often than not on the lower side. Also on the lower side, tropical development. There's hardly a cloud through the Caribbean right now. A few tropical waves out there into the main development region of the Atlantic off of Africa, but there's also a lot of dry, dusty air that is waiting for those things to gobble them right up. A little beefy wave trying to come off of Africa, but look at this right behind it. All of that brown. That is likely not going to last long, and the dust still continues to roll the roost out between the Lesser Antilles and the African continent. Locally, again, 40% shot for storms tomorrow, 30% chance on Saturday. I think that rain chance may even be a little too high as well. Most of us are going to be dry. I think over the weekend there will be a storm or two popping, but that's really all she wrote. 40% chance for storms on Monday, then kind of back to our more typical rainfall pattern Tuesday through Thursday, guys.
Those lows look like a Vegas slot machine, sevens all across the bottom there. Thank you, Jonathan. Open your camera app, scan the QR code on your screen right now, and click the link. We want to see your weather pictures and videos. They could end up right here on TV. You can also go to clickorlando.com/pins and upload your pictures and videos that way. Now to a question for our traffic safety expert.
Coming up, what to do when investigators give you a case number after a crash. As we take a live look at Mount Dora, you're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
I'm Justin Warmoth.
I'm Julie Broughton. Coming up in the morning, a big change on I-4.
Where workers are cutting the ribbon on a brand new exit and where FDOT says it'll bring some big time traffic relief.
Plus, we're heating up in time for the weekend. We'll have your full forecast every 10 minutes.
We'll see you for News 6 Mornings starting at 6.
Hey, pal.
I was given a business card with a case number after a crash. Is that really all I need? what else were you expecting? Like a coupon to go get a free lunch somewhere or something? Like, look, as long as you got a number, that's all you need, yes. So I've investigated thousands of crashes, and probably a couple hundred times I've been questioned, this is all you're giving me? Well, yeah, I still have to finish the crash report. So a crash report is not completed until 5 to 10 business days from the moment of that crash. That's why you get either a business card, usually from municipalities, or the State Highway Patrol gives you what's called a driver's exchange of information, a bigger piece of paper that has a case number on it. That is not the final copy of the crash report. That is for you to start your insurance claim. So once you leave that scene, you'd contact your personal car insurance and notify them that you've been involved in a crash, give them that case number. When they need the report, they will get it directly from the investigating agency. It's not something that you have to provide to them unless they specifically tell you to send them a copy of it. Maybe not a big chain insurance company or whatnot. But yes, it is okay if you are on a crash scene, that officer, that deputy, or that state trooper provides you with simply just a case number. That's how you get the ball rolling. If you got a traffic safety question, you want me to answer it, head on over to clickorlando.com/AskTrooperSteve.
All right, News 6 at 5 is next.
Anchor Matt Austin is in the newsroom with what's ahead.
Well, ladies, how would you feel if your neighbor damaged your car and used your lawn as a bathroom? Well, that's what people in one Orlando neighborhood are sharing with us. The only problem is they can't get these peacocks removed. And later, the pay raise that may finally be on the way to some of our bravest Central Floridians. Your forecast is only minutes away. Don't forget, you can stream all of our newscasts and live cameras. Like this beautiful look at Daytona Beach. We are getting closer to that weekend. We're going to have a look at the forecast coming up. You can get all that for free anytime on News 6 Plus. We'll be right back.
Matt, mic check.
Mic check, this is Matt. We're learning new details about a house fire in Seminole County. A family escaped.
Lisa, mic check.
Mic check. Mic check. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is News 6 at 5. Mic check. Check it.
30. Jonathan, mic check.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. I don't know. It's one of those days where the brain isn't working properly, and I just got some.
It's really a miracle that they got out all in one piece.
Now at 5, a family is out of their home tonight after a devastating fire. Plus, a driver is dead after their car was crushed. What we know tonight. And The smelly, destructive neighbors people in one Orlando neighborhood say they can't get rid of. You're watching News 6 at 5.
We are learning new details about a house fire in Seminole County this week. A family escaped in the middle of the night with just the clothes on their backs and their dog.
The Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver shares their story, which was captured on their call for help.
It's okay, baby. A mother on the line with 911, watching the home where her family lives burn down.
Tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. The garage is on fire. The newly released recordings depict the panic.
Has everyone in the home evacuated?
We're outside. Oh my God, please. The fast-spreading fire igniting fireworks. Oh my God. It's the middle of the night in this neighborhood near Sanford's airport. It's going all into the house. Oh my God. By the time firefighters arrived at this scene on Blue Rock Drive, the fire had already spread to the attic.
She was pretty panicked because it was late at night.
Michael Brodnack says his daughter lives a few doors down.
They were just concerned about the family inside, right? And, because they was thinking, now, next house than them,
The fire department says the family who lives here is okay, but the damage is so severe that they have to stay somewhere else. Fire investigators believe the fire started in the garage unintentionally.
According to my daughter, it was blazing so strong that it's really a miracle that they got out all in one piece. But the worst news is they lost everything.
In Seminole County, Catherine Silver, News 6.
Well, our newsroom is finally getting a look at the unedited body cam video of the moments Titusville police shot and killed a man more than 5 months ago. The video showing the moments leading up to the Tremaria Charles death gives a more complete view of the officer response that led up to the shooting. Police released a heavily edited version last month, narrated by Titusville's police chief, John Lau. But the state attorney's office cleared the officers involved last month, saying their actions were justified. News 6's Mike Valente has been going through both the newly released unedited video and the edited version that we received last month. He'll also have a response from Charles' mother. That's ahead at 6.
We are still waiting to learn more about a person who died after their car was crushed by a tree. Wildwood police are asking people to avoid the area of Marsh Bend Trail and McNeil Drive as officers continue to investigate this. Now, police say just after 10 this morning, the tree fell, landing on top of a car, killing the driver. They were the only person inside. Investigators say it looks like the tree fell naturally, but they are still investigating what happened. All right, stop us if you've heard this one before. More rain is on the way tonight.
I know you're shocked. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegg is pinpointing the conditions where you live. Jonathan?
Yeah, we're especially looking for areas west of Orlando over the next couple of hours to fire back up. Round 1 kind of pushing back towards the Gulf Coast right now. Round 2 getting going around Mico, Grand Falcaria, some lightning strikes trying to sneak up into Palm Bay, so just an early heads up. Again, if you have the free News 6 weather app, you're going to get that lightning detection push alert in Palm Bay. No storm around right now, but certainly the lightning firing off just to the north of that cell that's lifting to the north. Also watching just south of Osceola County coming closer to Frostproof tonight. That's going to work its way to the north and west. So that's going to be an early heads up to Southern Lake and Sumter counties a little bit later on this evening. Again, the best opportunity for those thunderstorms likely going to be west of Orlando, hanging on to a 20% area wide by 7 o'clock and then really quieting down through tonight, with the exception of the I-75 corridor. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about with the high-resolution future radar at about 5:17, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. People living in Volusia County say they have a big problem with a road that's getting increasingly dangerous.
Volusia County officials are now working to find solutions for South Glencoe Road in the unincorporated New Smyrna Beach area after seeing an increase in accidents and incidents there as well.
Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed is looking into the problem and what the county is hoping to do.
You can see there's a sharp bend on South Glencoe Road here. Now, this may look like a residential area, but it's actually the main cut through from New Smyrna Beach down to Edgewater if you're not on I-95, so hundreds are using this every day. Now, the folks who live around here, they say this bend is dangerous, especially with the drivers coming down, ignoring the speed reduction signs.
You know, it's a high-speed section here. You can see not too many people slow down, not even trucks.
Neighbors sent us these videos and pictures. Cars, trucks, even dump trucks and 18-wheelers flying by towards the bend. One resident on the bend says he's had to replace his fence multiple times. Check out these photos of an SUV that recently went airborne on the curb and landed on his fence.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm surprised it hasn't happened more often.
Those who live here say it's becoming a bigger issue too, with new developments going in all around the road.
This has been my family home since 1978, and I would say it's been an issue at least since they put the traffic light and all the construction out on 44, 2014, 2012.
And finally, they say they're being heard. This week, Volusia County leaders held a neighborhood meeting with the Glencoe Road residents, assuring they would work to find a solution.
There's, I want to say, approximately about $5 million that we have now dedicated to projects, safety projects throughout Volusia County to help out with areas just like this. And
the county says it has several different solutions, including more signage, lighting, and audio vibratory pavement markings similar to rumble strips to slow drivers down.
He also assured us that he was going to put signs at either side of the road, ends of the road, that there would be local deliveries only, maybe calm down some of the through traffic. I don't know.
And the county says all of these solutions will be put in place within the next few months. I'm your Volusia County community correspondent, Molly Reed, News 6.
All right, taking a live look at downtown Orlando, where one of many good Trouble Lives On rallies are happening outside City Hall. That's what they're called. Organizers say it's a response to, quote, attacks on civil and human rights by the Trump administration, and to remind them that in America, the power lies with the people, end quote. They also say a core principle of the demonstrations is a commitment to nonviolence, and they encourage everybody to de-escalate any potential confrontations out there. In Washington, President Trump is slamming some of his own supporters who say he should release more records from the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation.
A year ago, the president and his allies helped spread conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein, but now the president calls them a hoax and says people demanding more information are, quote, weaklings and stupid. CBS's Scott MacFarlane has the latest on the controversy.
Hammered with questions about Jeffrey Epstein, President Trump tried to again turn the page on the controversy Wednesday.
They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously has some very serious problems.
But this time, the president is blasting some of his own supporters for continuing to discuss Epstein.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
And in a social media post, Trump called those who continue to press the issue weaklings. Before the election, the president, his current Attorney General Pam Bondi, and FBI director, along with his deputy, fueled conspiracy theories about Epstein's death in prison and rumored client lists the Department of Justice now says doesn't exist.
Their new scam.
On Wednesday, many vocal Trump supporters pushed back on the president.
The Democrats' new scam. I mean, this is more of a Republican issue.
Bringing this into the public arena was President Trump. That's a matter of historic record. It's not up for debate.
And it's not just conservatives.
Jeffrey Epstein's what we're talking about, and we want your calls.
In Frederick County, Maryland, Pastor Tim May, who hosts a show on community radio station WFMD, says callers of all political stripes are criticizing Trump over the issue.
If you're not going to release it, just be upfront about why you're not releasing it.
If there's nothing on it, show it to us.
Your show is about the local high school, the county government, but you're getting calls about Epstein.
It's like a mosquito. It keeps coming back to bite you, and you have to address it. And it's interesting, to say the very least.
It keeps coming.
It does. It does. It's the story that everyone wants to go away, and everyone wants it to stay.
Some Senate Republicans are urging a special counsel be appointed to look into the Epstein matter. When asked about that on Wednesday, the president says he has nothing to do with it. Scott MacFarlane, CBS News, Washington.
Federal immigration officials are getting access to the personal data of nearly 80 million Americans. Information like home addresses and ethnicities of the 79 million people in the U.S. enrolled in Medicaid will be given to immigrations officials to track down immigrants who may not be living legally in the U.S. The AP is reporting an agreement between the Department of Homeland Security and the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services was signed Monday, but has not yet been announced. It's not clear whether Homeland Security has accessed that information just yet.
A man accused of exposing himself inside a local business before trying to abduct a child will be held on no bond. 55-year-old Timothy Hall appeared before a judge this afternoon. Daytona Beach police say Hall was caught on surveillance video inside a business on West International Speedway Boulevard where he exposed himself. They say he also tried grabbing a child's arm before running off. Now, this all happened last Friday. Police say he was arrested in Jacksonville on Monday and was extradited to Daytona Beach. Hall is facing charges of attempted kidnapping and lewd or lascivious exhibition.
Brightline taking a big step toward funding the expansion of high-speed rail service to Florida's West Coast. Today, the public weighed in on Brightline's financial plan, which just got the green light from the Florida Development Finance Corporation. The company wants to issue up to $400 million in bonds to expand the rail system from Miami all the way to Tampa. Right now, the closest station to Tampa is right here in Orlando at the airport. There are still several steps to go through in this financial process before that part is finalized. No construction start date has been announced. Ybor City is being heavily considered for Tampa's future Brightline station.
A neighbor reached out to us about a big peacock problem in their community.
They go after the kids.
They scratch your car because they think they're fighting.
They're constantly on the roof. I had to replace 2 tiles.
How this problem started and what's being done about it, that's next.
And later, the heartwarming first meeting doctors say they hope to see much more of. You're watching News 6 at 5. We'll be right back.
Today's Port Canaveral Cam is sponsored by Launch Credit Union.
Residents here at the Costa del Sol condo community in Orlando say they're tired of living with neighbors they say are loud, inconsiderate, and unruly. Dozens of wild peacocks.
There's pieces everywhere and the kids plays in the ground, you know, that has so many bacteria. So that's one of the things that we worried about. They go after the kids.
Residents say a neighbor brought in 2 peacocks years ago. They've been having babies every year since, adding more peacocks and more problems. The large birds attack dark, shiny cars, trying to fight their reflections. One resident spent thousands repairing his car before finally giving up and getting a lighter color.
They scratch your car because they think they're fighting. And it's funny because all I hear is thud, 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 because they're pecking it with their beak. And then they go to the other side of the car because they think they'll get to that other bird. And then they're not just pecking at it, they're jumping up and they're scratching it.
Victor works from home and says the constant noise interferes with his job and his sleep. They've also damaged his property.
I'm missing part of my screen because one of them got in there and I guess got a little upset or scared and they smashed through there. They're constantly on the roof. I had to replace 2 tiles already over time.
Worst of all, they can't seem to get anyone to help.
We have tried to call everybody, governmental agencies, private vendors.
I contacted Orange County, the city of Orlando, and Florida Fish and Wildlife, all of whom say it's up to the residents to remove the peacocks. Calderon says they can't get a trapper to show up and that no one seems to have a place for so many wild birds.
They don't want to come at all, so it's something that, for us is ridiculous at this point.
The problem only getting worse with time. The human residents of Costa del Sol desperate for results. In Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
But they're so pretty.
Oh, in my 15 years here, we've done a lot of peacock stories, and they are pretty, and they are as aggressive as they are pretty.
It is so cool to see them when you're driving by in a neighborhood, but then you do often see a lot of homes trying to protect their windows and trying to put things
cool to
up
drive
there.
by them, not cool to live with them. Yeah.
Well, one of those neighbors called us to tell us about the peacock problem. If you are seeing an issue you would like us to highlight, reach out to us. Just head to the News 6 app or clickorlando.com, click Contact Us, and let us know how we can help.
All right, let's get you over to our meteorologist, Jonathan Kegas. How are we looking as we head into the evening weather-wise?
Pretty good, and I think it's going to be the tale of 2 halves of the Florida Peninsula. Again, right now we have most of the lightning strikes right along the Gulf Coast. You see that west of 75, still hanging on just a teeny tiny bit, Marion County, southwest of Gainesville. A few other little downpours trying to develop along the I-95 corridor for you, especially to the east of Yeehaw Junction, coming out of Fort Pierce, moving into Mico, Palm Bay, and the little guy trying to pop up also right along the Polk County border as things start to slide to the north and west. I think the further east you are tonight, you're pretty much done with the thunderstorms once we get rid of the ones that are out there right now over the next hour or so. It's going to be right where you see these itty-bitty thunderstorms or cells downpours right now through parts of Lake and Sumter County. This is the area that I'm going to be watching over the next couple of hours for some extra development, mainly west of Orlando. That's the theme of tonight. There we go, 5, 6 o'clock, and that's what I'm talking about, that flare up right there that kind of parallels the I-75 corridor. 9 o'clock tonight, we still might be hanging on to a couple of thunderstorms. Note how quiet it is from Palm Coast through Bunnell, back to Daytona Beach and into Titusville. Those will fizzle out. And then I think tomorrow starts a mini dry stretch. And it's not going to be completely bone dry. You still run the risk of seeing a piece of a downpour sliding through. More often than not, though, I think we're going to have a pretty dry weekend. 3, 4, 5 o'clock into your Friday. Notice there's just very little going on. Again, a few scattered thunderstorms out there. Not going to be completely dry tomorrow. Those rain chances go down even further as we head into the weekend. Now, with all the rain we've received, we finally got the severe drought status out of Central Florida. We were hanging on to that in parts of Central Brevard County. This does include the rain we picked up Monday into Tuesday. Latest monitor, again, still holding on to a moderate drought in northeastern Marion County, and then still hanging on to a little bit of a drought status officially from Melbourne down into Mico throughout to the Space Coast tonight along the Brevard County line. So we're going to be watching that again as we finally try to erode everybody out of the drought situation from earlier this spring. 89 right now, the current temperature at the Cape. We're at 86 in Orlando, still hanging on to some heat in Leesburg, but we haven't seen any of the rain just yet. We are at 93 degrees. Now here's a look at your forecast. Temperature is going to get back into the upper 70s for you. 77 in Kissimmee, 77 in Oviedo. This is for tomorrow morning. We're going to start this stretch as well of staying into the upper 70s for the next several nights. Tomorrow afternoon, we're getting back to the middle 90s. We're at 90 in New Smyrna, rain chances holding. at 40%, and then we'll see things really drop. Again, tomorrow, the highest opportunity for those rain showers and thunderstorms is going to be west of Orlando. The further east you are, closer to I-95 and the beaches, we're mainly going to be on the drier side, say for a stray downpour trying to bubble back up. Good evening in Palm Bay and Melbourne. Again, tomorrow it's a steamy one, but we are mainly dry. 10 o'clock, we're at 87, right around 90 degrees by 2. Rain chances pretty much zilch tomorrow afternoon. High pressure going to be in control over the next couple of days. This is fast forwarding now into Saturday with it hanging so close to our coast. It kind of forces all the moisture back to the west, and you see there very limited stuff. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Looking pretty dry other than a stray thunderstorm or two popping up. That theme continues Sunday into your Monday as well before we get into the early part of next work week. Temperatures also staying blazing hot, mid to upper 90s over the weekend. 60% shot for rain returns on Tuesday, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Open your camera app, scan the QR code on your screen right now, and click that link. We want to see your weather pictures and videos, and they could end up on TV. You can also go to clickorlando.com/pins and upload your pictures and videos that way.
After the break, the local champions looking to repeat this weekend.
And the touching first meeting that doctors say they need to see more of.
Your Thursday evening traffic alert. You're going to see a heavy lane closure in Brevard County, northbound I-95 over at 192. So northbound out there overnight, you're going to get pushed down to one travel lane just north of there. It will cause some serious early morning delays. We saw it earlier this morning. You're going to see it again tomorrow. So just make sure you're paying attention. And then, of course, the construction along east and westbound I-4 out by Kirkman. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
Yeller. Oh. Connie Francis, a pop star of the 1950s and 60s, whose hits include Pretty Little Baby, which you've probably come across on social media recently, has died. She had more than a dozen top 20 hits from 1957 to 1964 and starred in several films, including Where the Boys Are and Follow the Boys. Francis' publicist announced her passing this morning but did not provide any additional details. She was 87 years old.
Well, a heartwarming meetup of what doctors say is something they would love to see more of. Scott Scannell and Anne Marie Hassett met for the first time at the hospital after Hassett gave Scannell a kidney. The 61-year-old was living with a genetic disorder leading to kidney failure and was on a wait list for 3 years. Before Hassett came across a social media post asking for a donor. The volunteer firefighter and triathlete signed up. Transplant was a success in April. Both say it was a life-changing donation.
I don't know how much longer I could have gone on with dialysis. My angel came at the right time because I was giving up.
I know my little bean has a new home and is doing great, which I'm so happy about. And I'm healthy and I'm fine.
She calls it her little bean. That's amazing. What Anne Marie did is called an altruistic organ donation. There were a record 28,000 transplants performed last year, but only about 3,400 were donated altruistically. That is 1 in 8 organ donations. Scott and Anne Marie plan to run a 5K. There are more than 100,000 people on the national waiting list for organ donation. 90% of them are waiting on a kidney. What a story. Central Florida's best young baseball players are just days away from returning to the Southeast Regional Tournament.
It's getting exciting right now. The State Little League Championship begins tomorrow at 4:30 and runs through Sunday at 10 a.m. So the 12-year-olds from Lake Mary Little League are trying to take home their second straight title. If you would like to cheer them on, the games are being played in Melbourne at the Tim Wakefield Sports Complex on Mosswood Drive. Wouldn't that be incredible if
That'd
they
be
make
amazing.
it back to Williamsport again?
I don't know. They could be good. Still to come, the new deal about to be reached to give some of Brevard County's bravest a much-deserved raise.
Plus, where it may soon cost you more money to go to the beach.
And hear the incredible story of heroism from the people who answered the call to save others in danger from that flooding in Texas.
Glad you're with us. I'm Lisa Bell.
And I'm Matt Austin. You're watching News 6 at 5. We're following several top stories for you right now. Family escaped in the middle of the night with just the clothes on their back and their dog after what officials say was a house fire in Seminole County. That fast-spreading fire also caused some fireworks to go off in the middle of all of it. Fire investigators think the fire started in the garage unintentionally.
Our newsroom now has a look at unedited body camera video of the moments Titusville police shot and killed a man more than 5 months ago. The video showing the moments leading up to Trimeria Charles' death gives a more complete view of the officer response that led up to the shooting. The state attorney's office cleared the officers involved last month, saying their actions were justified. We are still waiting to learn more about a person who died after their car was crushed by a tree. Wildwood police are still asking people to avoid the area of Marsh Bend Trail and McNeil Drive as officers continue to investigate. Investigators say it looks like the tree fell naturally this morning, but they are continuing to investigate.
Well, after more than a year of gridlock, a local county and its firefighters finally agreed to a new contract. $15 an hour was a jarring number to a lot of people when they found out that's how little some firefighters were making. Low pay contributed to more than 100 people leaving Brevard County Fire Rescue. Brevard County community correspondent James Sparvero tells us if approved by county commissioners, the new agreement would mean some well-deserved raises.
So as he irons out the details at home on the legal matters of the contract, Union President Mike Bramson is kind enough to join us on the computer for a couple of questions. So Mike, it's been 18 months. The negotiations have been bitter at times. I've seen you advocate for better pay at commission meetings and rallies. How do you feel to finally have something on the table going before the commission?
It's bittersweet in many aspects, being that wages is just a mechanism to get what we need. The ultimate goal here, of course, is to be able to provide the services needed by Brevard County citizens, taxpayers, visitors.
So are you happy that the county is offering raises up to 22% in the first year?
Yeah, so the landscape of the raises is satisfactory in the aspect of we were able to put together something that put most of the wages that we were looking for towards more senior people.
Retaining those people continues to be a challenge, Mike told me. He said Fire Rescue currently has 80 vacancies, and while the raises proposed are nice, he said the new contract does not address work-life balance. And when I asked to interview the county about finally making a deal, it gave me this statement. This was months in the making, and we've got work to do to make it feasible. In the meantime, we will wait for direction next week from our Board of County Commissioners, and then, as warranted, work to retro-pay the firefighters and move forward.
I mean, I think they deserve to be paid well for the work they do. It's very dangerous. It takes a special person to do that.
The commission's discussion is scheduled here next Tuesday, and we'll let you know how they vote. In Brevard County, I'm your community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
A man accused of killing a person and leaving him in his car in the parking lot of an apartment complex is now in custody. This happened early last month at the Falcon Trace Apartments just off Orange Blossom Trail south of Town Center Boulevard near the Hunters Creek area in Orange County. 54-year-old Joshua Del Rio is charged with first-degree premeditated murder. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says they received a call from a woman who thought the victim was sleeping inside his car in the parking lot, but hours later was still there. Deputies say they found the man lying across the front passenger seat with blood all over the inside and the outside of the car. Detectives say DNA samples from latex gloves found on the floor and the back of the car linked the suspect.
One person's recovering in the hospital after a house fire late last night. Fire crews were called to a home on Meridian Way in Pine Hills around 10. Now, Orange County Fire Rescue said crews found flames shooting through the roof of the home, found one person inside. At this point, we're still working to get an update on their condition, and the cause of that fire is still under investigation.
Taking a live look at Daytona Beach, it is looking like a pretty nice evening and a nice weekend ahead along the coast. Now, if you are planning a day on the water at Cocoa Beach, you might have to budget more for parking, where city leaders are considering raising rates. People living nearby and tourists alike told our Stephanie Rodriguez what they think about this idea.
Potentially increasing the price to park in Cocoa Beach is something that residents here tell me will impact their finances and make it harder for people who are visiting the city to enjoy everything it has to offer.
What do you think about the price?
It shouldn't be even a price for parking, to be honest with you, because there's plenty of space.
While some tourists aren't happy with the cost to park in Cocoa Beach, others think it's inevitable wherever you go.
I feel $5-6 an hour is not too much.
For some who live and play in the area, an increase could strain their wallets.
I believe that they're already expensive as it is.
And make it harder for visitors to enjoy the city.
I feel like every time I'm trying to have people in town, it's like hard to accommodate for them, and there feels like there could be better solutions.
Here are some of the price changes the commission is considering. Increasing per hour parking from $5 to $6, making per day parking at non-parks $20, up from the current $15, and raising all-day parking at parks and garages by $5 from $20 to $25.
What would you like to see change in terms of parking? A lot more of it and a lot more affordable. I think that there's ways to make it more affordable. I don't think that it needs to be what it is right now. I definitely think that more reasonable rates for people that are even visiting passes, things like that, things that are more accessible so that all of our residents and visitors can enjoy.
I did reach out to the city of Cocoa Beach to ask why they're considering increasing the parking prices, but no one was available for an interview. That meeting is set for tonight at 6:30. Reporting in Cocoa Beach, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Tonight, Central Florida Expressway officials want to hear from you about a connection between State Road 417 and the Sanford-Orlando Airport. This is a big deal for people who live around there. A proposed toll road connecting the two starts near the Lake Jessup Toll Plaza, then heads northeast, a route that cuts through some homes and properties. Officials have been talking about the best way to do this for about 2 decades now. And in that time, Seminole County just continues to grow quickly. Our Catherine Silver spoke with Expressway officials earlier this week who say the plan is still very much in the early development.
First, the board would have to approve it to move forward. Then it would have to move into design, and design could take a couple years. Even though a lot of need is existing right now for relief, with this project, if it's approved by our board, probably is still a few years away from actually being a reality.
By 2050, officials expect more than 36,000 cars will drive that road every day, and drivers say they would appreciate anything to ease some congestion. If you'd like to attend tonight's meeting and public comment, staff are there right now going over some of the plans before the formal presentation. That's at 6:30 in about an hour. This is all happening at the Sanford Civic Center on East Seminole Boulevard.
Florida's Surgeon General wants more research on mRNA COVID-19 vaccine injuries. Joseph Latipo is also backing new guidelines for kids and pregnant women. News 6's Laverne McGee is in the newsroom with the details on this. Laverne.
Well, Lisa, he was in Tampa today saying he knows many people who have suffered reactions from the mRNA vaccine. He also says he supports recent federal changes. In May, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that he was removing COVID-19 shots from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's recommendations for healthy children and also pregnant women. Now today, Florida's Surgeon General called on the federal government to expand the work they're doing on long COVID and the effects of the COVID vaccine.
Of the two, Moderna and Pfizer is definitely worse. Pfizer is worse for cardiovascular side effects related to blood clotting.
However, some U.S. health officials have been urging annual COVID-19 boosters for all Americans ages 6 months and older. They say they're following recommendations by infectious disease experts. Back to you.
All right, Laverne, thank you. Well, some days Trooper Steve goes on patrol to cover topics to keep us safe. Other days he listens to your concerns and concerns that you bring to him.
So today he listened to viewers in the Taft neighborhood. They were worried about big trucks driving through the neighborhood. Steve hopped into Results One to check out what's going on.
Big trucks, little roads. And you can see right here as we're cruising on 4th Street this morning, there's two different portions of 4th Street, one on the east side of Orange Avenue and one on the west side. Currently, we're on the west side of Orange Avenue on 4th Street. This area has a lot of industrial businesses, but on the north side of 4th Street, it's covered with nothing but residential areas. Wow, this truck going right through the red as it was flashing there on these tracks. We're gonna stop. Thank you for the other arm going down there. Got a little nervous, but obviously safety. You should always be paying attention to railroad tracks, even in community areas. Once the lights start flashing, that's when you're required to stop.
Hit the road with Trooper Steve on patrol weekday mornings at 10, live on News 6 Plus streaming app for your smart TV or clickorlando.com.
With all the horrible stories out of Texas following the floods 2 weeks ago, it's also important to recognize all the good that's been taking place. Hear from one person who answered the call to rescue others in their greatest time of need. Jonathan.
We're going to pinpoint a few more thunderstorms trying to fire up again, mainly west of Orlando tonight. So we're watching that for you guys. Over the weekend, we're going to turn drier and a lot hotter as well. We're going to have your full forecast coming up in about 7 minutes.
And later, who Central Florida's nominee is for Teacher of the Year. And don't forget, you can watch local news and weather 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on News 6 Plus, your streaming app. It's all free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also on Roku, Apple, and Fire.
As people in Texas continue to recover from devastating floods, a local nonprofit says hundreds of pets were separated from their owners during the floods. So far, more than 350 have been reunited with their owners, including animals that did not survive. A nonprofit is donating cremation services to give owners a sense of closure.
Meantime, some new video is showing the daring moments some of those first efforts happened. Over a dozen Kerrville School District employees answered emergency calls to rescue hundreds of stranded campers and counselors from 2 hill country camps as those waters rose on the 4th of July. Amanda Henderson with our CBS affiliate in Houston spoke with one of the drivers of those buses. And during Amanda's story, you're going to see this QR code on your screen. News 6 and our parent company, Graham Media, are teaming up to help raise money for the victims of Texas flooding. Use your cell phone right now if you'd like to scan this QR code. It'll take you to our fundraising page with the Salvation Army of Texas. Your donation, no matter the size, will go directly to help support their efforts.
Dramatic new video showing the moments a convoy of Kerrville ISD school buses precariously crossing damaged roads to pick up stranded campers and counselors along the Guadalupe River.
You had no idea what you were being called in for, and you said it didn't matter what we were being called in for. We just knew we needed to help.
We knew the basic. We were going to get kids.
Tivy High School principal Rick Sorella is one of more than a dozen KISD employees who answered the district's call for help from Camp Mystic and Camp La Junta.
The sheer devastation, it was very sobering. We had seen floods before, not to this magnitude.
Sorella says the buses would alert each other via radio of obstacles, ultimately bringing hundreds of people to safety.
They were in their pajamas. They were holding teddy bears. They had what they could grab with them in the middle of the night to get on the bus.
Sorella shows us the very bus he was driving that morning.
This is your bus now.
It's my bus now, yes.
Bus 8.
Bus 8, forever.
KISD's Bus Barn, as it's called, houses all of the buses used that day, including Bus 8 and Bus 6, where we meet Transportation Director Ken Knowles.
I've had the opportunity to review some of the footage from that, and what you see is girls coming out hand in hand, linked all the way onto this bus. You watch them get on to Bus 6, and as they're headed back into town, they're singing their Christian camp songs.
Knowles is referring to this viral video, campers and counselors from Camp Mystic singing songs as they come face to face with storm damage.
We'll never look at Bus 6 the same again.
Knowles was out of the country on a cruise when the floods hit.
I mean, you got to be so proud of your team.
Oh my gosh, I've never been so proud of a team.
Knowles says district leaders helped to quickly get the buses rolling within 30 minutes of asking for help.
You can no longer say I'm just a bus driver, because that day on July 4th and then the next day on July 5th, you were a comforter, you were a rescuer, and in my mind, they're all heroes.
Again, that was Amanda Henderson with our CBS affiliate in Houston reporting. Now, if you were not able to scan that QR code earlier, or if it would be easier for you to donate online, we have posted a link to make a donation to the Salvation Army of Texas's fundraising page. You can find that on the homepage of clickorlando.com.
All right, let's get you over to meteorologist Jonathan Kagas. I am starting to see some things popping on the radar, Jonathan.
There it is. Yeah, guys, west of Orlando right now, this is closer to I-75 and parts of Lake and Sumter County, especially Sumter County. See the little arrow popping up is our few teeny tiny downpours we were talking about 30 minutes ago have now kind of fired up a little bit more, and now we have lightning associated with them. So early heads up in Leesburg is this downpour just off to your south. It's getting a little more beefy with time, so likely going to get a couple of lightning strikes at least with that. Webster into Bushnell in about 15 minutes, give or take. We're going to see this cell push through, especially in the south side of town as this works towards I-75 and then eventually towards Nobleton. So that's the lone cluster of cells that we have. A few teeny tiny downpours popping up as well. And by the way, you can always track these storms alongside us with the free News 6 weather app. Brand new update just pushed as well. The future radar has now been added right onto the radar screen again. I know a lot of people like that. That has returned. So download that. Make sure it is updated as well. And you're going to get those brand new features again back on the app. There are those storms again pushing forward, watching a few weakening storms closer to Yeehaw Junction tonight. Here we go. 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Scattered thunderstorms try to erupt. I think most of them are going to be west of I-4. 8 o'clock tonight, things start to wind back down. Tomorrow, I think, starts our stretch of drier weather. There will still be a couple of thunderstorms out there tomorrow, but by and large, most of us are going to stay dry. There's 12 o'clock on your Friday afternoon, lunch outside. It's going to be very, very hot and humid. but more likely than not, it's going to be on the drier side. Nice breeze at the Space Coast right now, Port Canaveral. It's a live look with our Launch Credit Union camera tonight. Temperatures back to the upper 80s. The breeze sustained at about 15 miles an hour tonight, and we'll keep that right along the coast. High temperatures tomorrow, 94 in Leesburg. We're at 94 in Wildwood. Rain chances drop to 40% tomorrow, and they're going to drop further over the weekend. Big chunk of high pressure pretty much builds on both sides of the state. All this blue on your screen is high pressure, and you see it really start to bleed back toward the Florida Peninsula as we work our way through Friday and then into the weekend. You'll see another big H area pop up right there in the northeastern Gulf. That is going to keep us on the drier side. It's going to help to supply us with some drier air right on down the Florida Peninsula as well, and keep rain chances not completely zero, but again, I think most of us are dry. Saturday and Sunday, rain chances only at 30%, 40% shot for thunderstorms on Monday, so still on the drier side again. It's not until about Tuesday into Wednesday that we start to get those rain chances back up to more typically where we should be for the month of July. On the tropical front, we're looking pretty good as well. Nothing coming towards us, nothing even trying to brew out there, so some good news on that front. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Publix.
With the rain chances going down, it is going to be hot. Likely the hottest stretch we've seen so far this summer. Temperatures back to the mid-90s. Hottest day to date at the Orlando International Airport is 96. We may surpass that on Saturday, tie that on Sunday, and then back up into the upper 90s again on Monday with those lower rain chances. A touch cooler, relatively speaking, by a few degrees anyway. Lower 90s as we get towards the middle part of next work week as those rain chances come on back, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Well, after the break, we're going to introduce you to Central Florida's nominee for the top teacher in the state.
A devastating digital heist has left an Air Force veteran without his life savings.
Initially, I was shocked. I said, there's no way.
I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bold, and we investigate how hackers stole more than $500,000 in cryptocurrency tonight at 6.
I'm Justin Wormuth.
I'm Julie Broughton. Coming up in the morning, a big change on I-4.
Where workers are cutting the ribbon on a brand new exit and where FDOT says it'll bring some big time traffic relief.
Plus, we're heating up in time for the weekend. We'll have your full forecast every 10 minutes.
We'll see you for News 6 Mornings starting at 6.
More changes may be coming to the security gate at the airport. The TSA may be ending carry-on restrictions for liquids. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary spoke about a government, business, and policy summit in Washington and dropped some hints that a change may be coming. Current policy allows travelers to carry on liquids with 3.4-ounce containers or smaller, and they have to go in a quart-sized bag. Anything bigger has to be put in checked bags. Secretary didn't give any details as to what or when these changes might be made.
Well, even with mixed signals about the economy, Americans have been on a shopping spree, apparently. Consumer spending ticked higher last month, despite uncertainty over tariffs and the U.S. economy. The Commerce Department shows Americans spent more than $720 billion on retail and food sales, about 3 times higher than expected, and continued to surge during online sales in July.
There's some evidence there was a lot of spending on low-ticket items, that the average ticket price on what was spent was like $25. I think what we're really seeing about consumers right now, with inflation, with prices being high, people are more discerning. They're being very strategic. They're really considerate of how they're spending their money.
During a 4-day period in July, consumers spent more than $24 billion on Amazon Prime and other online sales events, up 30% from a year ago.
Look at that.
Yeah. A local teacher may be Florida's next Teacher of the Year.
A Flagler County teacher is one of the 5 finalists. Brandy Nicole Anderson is a 7th grade civics teacher at Indian Trails Middle School in Palm Coast, where she has taught for 10 years of her 16 working in education. She's among 5 finalists for the 2026 Florida Teacher of the Year. Each finalist got a $20,000 award from the governor. The winner will be announced later today. Good luck to you, Miss Anderson. So proud of you.
Love all of our teachers. They do so much. Ginger Gadsden is in the newsroom with what we are working on for News 6 at 6.
Yeah, they deserve that $20,000 and so much more. Matt and Lisa, we spoke to the mother of a man who was killed during an officer-involved shooting in Titusville. Tonight, for the first time, we are taking a look at the unedited body cam of what actually happened that night. Plus, Peacock peril in Orlando. The people of one condo community say they have had enough with these beautiful birds. Tonight at 6, a Seminole County family left with just the clothes on their backs. The frantic 911 call made to rescuers after a fire destroyed their home.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun!
A more complete version of events from an officer-involved shooting in Titusville. The unedited body cam video being shown for the first time. And a beautiful bird with a big problem. The Orlando neighborhood that says they are fed up with peacocks. You're watching News 6 at 6. A Sanford family is without a home tonight after a garage fire, a fire that may have set off some fireworks being stored inside.
They escaped in the middle of the night with just the clothes on their backs and their dog. Your Seminole County community correspondent, Catherine Silver, has the 911 calls from that night.
It's okay, baby. A mother on the line with 911, watching the home where her family lives burn down.
Tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. The garage is on fire. The newly released recordings depict the panic.
Has everyone in the home evacuated?
We're outside. Oh my God, please. The fast-spreading fire igniting fireworks. Oh my God. It's the middle of the night in this neighborhood near Sanford's airport.
It's going all into the house. Oh my God.
By the time firefighters arrived at this scene on Blue Rock Drive, the fire had already spread to the attic.
She was pretty panicked because it was late at night.
Michael Brodnack says his daughter lives a few doors down.
They were just concerned about the family inside, right? And, you know, because they was thinking, now, next house than them, you know?
The fire department says the family who lives here is okay, but the damage is so severe that they have to stay somewhere else. Fire investigators believe the fire started in the garage unintentionally.
According to my daughter, it was blazing so strong that it's really a miracle that they got out all in one piece. But the worst news is they lost everything.
In Seminole County, Catherine Silver, News 6.
Now to a look at that forecast. The radar not as busy as it was about an hour ago.
Yeah, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now tracking what's in store for tonight. Jonathan.
Yeah, we're seeing more stuff fire back up along into the west of I-4 right now. Pearson, we have a thunderstorm just south of town. I'll turn on the loop and show you where these storms kind of erupted here. We were talking pretty much west of Orlando, in between Orlando and I-75 is likely where we would see those scattered thunderstorms refire for the second part of your evening. And here we go around Bushnell again. I'm watching this cell for you guys. It's not severe. There's no damaging wind with this. It is gusty as it's pushing closer to you guys into Webster, Bushnell, and then eventually Nobleton. Coleman, we're on the southern side of this. I do want to make sure that everyone's paying attention, though, because the lightning strikes, look how far north that they are striking tonight outside of the main cell. Leesburg, I mentioned just about 10 minutes ago to be cautious of this cell getting some lightning with it, and there we go as it slides up the turnpike just south of Leesburg there tonight. So likely the heaviest rain going to stay south of town, south of Fruitland Park as well, but we do have a lot of lightning with that. I'll come back in about 15 minutes, and we're tracking these further for you in the rest of your evening, and a drier weekend in store at about 6:17.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, the mother of Trimeria Charles maintains her son was murdered by Titusville police during this encounter in February. This all despite the state attorney's office found the officer's actions lawful and justified.
Samantha Charles is not backing down, though. She spoke with News 6 by phone, responding to the newly released body cam video showing the final moments of her son. The video, obtained by News 6 through a public records request, raises new questions about what happened that night. News 6's Mike Valenti has more.
We've seen parts of these videos before, just parts of them. This is the first time we've been able to review raw, unedited body cam and dash cam footage from that night in February. What we reported on last month was an 18-minute video released by Titusville Police. It featured Chief John Lau providing commentary on the video, and at times snippets of the body cam and dash cam footage are played. They're even slowed down to analyze key moments. But we had yet to see these unedited videos. For the first time, from the angle of an officer's dash cam, we can see Charles run away from police, followed by the two officers who opened fire. 3 more officers can be seen running in the same direction. And raw body camera footage from Officer Xavius Baez depicts close to 2 minutes of that night, from when he parks his cruiser to the moments after he shoots Charles and calls for help.
Roll medical! Roll medical!
The same week Titusville Police released the edited video last month, the state attorney's office determined that the 2 officers' actions were lawful and justified. pointing in part to the footage that depicts Charles rearming himself after dropping a gun. But Tremaria Charles' mother, Samantha, is far from satisfied. After we sent her what we obtained Thursday, she told me that she wants to see the body camera footage from the other officers who were there that night. She stressed her position that her son was murdered and said, quote, "The lack of transparency, coupled with the city's failure to honor its own policies, leave me in a state of disbelief and deep sorrow." And 5 months after her son's death, Samantha Charles added that no amount of time can heal the agony of losing a child. In Titusville, I'm Mike Valenti, News 6.
In Seminole County now, this man is accused of ramming a family's car off the road. According to Seminole County Sheriff's Office, this all ended in Oviedo outside of an apartment complex on Trinity Way. The woman, who also had a 12-year-old in the car, told officials that Antonio Brown chased them in his car. He then rammed it at an intersection, pushing it 25 feet into a retention pond. No one was hurt. Brown is facing multiple battery charges and damage to property of the building.
Today, the public was able to weigh in on Brightline's financial plan to expand its high-speed rail service to Tampa. The public hearing comes a day after Brightline was given the go-ahead to keep working with the Florida Development Finance Corporation for funding. They're trying to issue up to $400 million in bonds that would be used to extend the current line from Miami all the way to a station in Tampa, maybe Ybor City. Right now, the closest stop is at Orlando International Airport. FDFC still needs to issue a final vote and report. We'll let you know what happens.
Well, today, the future of Camping World Stadium was the topic of discussion for city officials. The Orlando Appearance Review Board got an in-depth look at the renovations planned for this stadium. The biggest change would be, of course, to the exterior. A silver egg-like appearance would cover the outside, giving the stadium a futuristic look. Blueprints were shown detailing the construction of the stands and what would go into the building process. One of the board members says there is still work to do, but it's exciting. Orlando Commissioner Shan Rose spoke with News 6 recently and says she hopes the stadium brings new life into the Paramore district.
Orlando is the #1 sports city in America right now, and we're moving, and this is showing the Jaguars, hey, there's a lot of great things for you we have beyond the stadium.
There was no public comment this afternoon. The next meeting is August 21st. There was also no discussion on the potential naming rights for the stadium.
A devastating digital heist has left an Air Force veteran without his life savings. Hackers stole more than $500,000 in cryptocurrency. And as News 6's Louis Bolden reports, experts say this type of crime is becoming more common.
I was shocked. I said, no way.
For 8 years, Brandon Page carried his crypto wallet everywhere through deployments in Iraq, Afghanistan, and across the Middle East. The Air Force veteran thought his digital fortune was secure.
And I was so terrified to lose these tokens that I moved them to the Ledger in like 2017.
Ledger is a type of crypto hardware wallet that is unhackable because it's kept offline. Page has since stored it in a safe. But last month, hackers somehow gained access to his digital wallet, stealing 268,357 shares of XRP cryptocurrency.
At the time was $569,000 US.
So you lost $569,000.
Yeah.
Like that.
You know what the price of it is now?
What?
It's about $800,000 at current price today.
News 6 connected Page with Secret Service financial analyst Brian Watson.
So you've seen this many times?
I've seen it a couple of times, yep.
Watson uncovered how it happened.
When he created the account, he took a picture of that seed phrase and emailed it to himself. So one of those email addresses was compromised.
That seed phrase, essentially a password, was all the thieves needed. The Secret Service tracked it, and within days, the crooks moved the money from Page's wallet to their wallet and then fanned it through multiple exchanges, making it nearly impossible to retrieve.
They spread it out. They move a little bit to different parts, and then they cash out a little bit different places. They're good at laundering the proceeds.
The Secret Service is investigating, but chances of recovery are slim. Watson says time is critical in these cases.
The quicker that it's reported to us, the faster we can jump on it, the faster we can get cooperation from exchanges, the faster that we can trace it.
For Page, the loss has tested his resilience.
It's been stressful. It's been stressful. to know that, you took a blow like that is very significant.
Watson says never photograph or email sensitive crypto information and store seed words and passwords offline in a secure location. I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
Well, in just under 30 minutes, the Cocoa City Beach Commission will decide whether to increase parking rates across the city. Here are some of the changes they're considering: increasing per hour parking from $5 to $6, making per day parking at non-parks $20 from the current $15, and raising all day parking at parks and garages by $5 from $20 to $25. It's a move some people here in Cocoa Beach feel will impact their finances and make it harder for those visiting the city to enjoy everything it has to offer.
I think that there's ways to make it more affordable. I don't think that it needs to be what it is right now. I definitely think that more reasonable rates for people that are even visiting passes, things like that, things that are more accessible so that all of our residents and visitors can enjoy.
We have reached out to Cocoa Beach to ask why it's considering raising rates. We're still waiting to hear back.
Well, we officially have a date for the next crewed launch from our coast to the space station. NASA has set July 31st for the launch of the new Crew 11 from Kennedy Space Center. You're looking at video from the March launch of Crew 10 blasting off from our Space Coast. The newest team of 4 headed to the International Space Station will take the longest route yet to dock at the station, which is about 39 hours. Again, liftoff from Crew 10, or Crew 11 there is set for 12:09 in the afternoon. Again, that's on Thursday, July 31st. You can, of course, watch the launch right here on air and on clickorlando.com. More news, weather, and sports still to come on News 6 at 6.
Including a call for help. We head to a condo complex in Orlando where the people there need some help dealing with some pesky neighbors, peacocks. Why some of them say they have had enough.
Plus, a member of one of the biggest pop groups on the planet calling out a Florida sheriff's office. What he says is happening on his beachfront property.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health, helping the communities we serve to feel whole.
Now to Walton County in the Panhandle, where Brian Luttrell, a member of the Backstreet Boys, is suing the sheriff's office. He says deputies are not doing enough to control trespassers on his private beach property. Luttrell says that there are no trespassing signs outside his multi-million-dollar Santa Rosa beach home. The lawsuit claims beachgoers have set out to, quote, antagonize, bully, and harass his family. There is a new statewide law which allows local governments to make ordinances dealing with beach access. The law states any sand on a beach below the high tide watermark is public. Homeowners own the sand down to the average high water line. Well, there are all sorts of nuisances if you live in an apartment complex, especially if there are animals.
But tonight we head to the villas of Costa del Sol in Orlando, where they are dealing with an unusual disturbance. News 6's Alex Cook caught up with some of the neighbors with their complaints.
Residents here at the Costa del Sol condo community in Orlando say they're tired of living with neighbors they say are loud, inconsiderate, and unruly. Dozens of wild peacocks.
Pieces everywhere, and the kids plays in the ground, you know, that has so many bacteria. So that's one of the things that we worried about. They go after the kids.
Residents say a neighbor brought in 2 peacocks years ago. They've been having babies every year since, adding more peacocks and more problems. The large birds attack dark, shiny cars, trying to fight their reflections. One resident spent thousands repairing his car before finally giving up and getting a lighter color.
They scratch your car because they think they're fighting. And it's funny because all I hear is thud, 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 because they're pecking it with their beak. And then they go to the other side of the car because they think they'll get to that other bird. And then they're not just pecking at it, they're jumping up and they're scratching it.
Victor works from home and says the constant noise interferes with his job and his sleep. They've also damaged his property.
I'm missing part of my screen because one of them got in there and I guess got a little upset or scared and they smashed through there. They're constantly on the roof. I had to replace 2 tiles already over time.
Worst of all, they can't seem to get anyone to help.
We have tried to call everybody, governmental agencies, private vendors.
I contacted Orange County, the city of Orlando, and Florida Fish and Wildlife, all of whom say it's up to the residents to remove the peacocks. Calderon says they can't get a trapper to show up and that no one seems to have a place for so many wild birds.
They don't want to come at all, so it's something that, you know, for us is ridiculous at this point.
The problem only getting worse with time. The human residents of Costa del Sol desperate for results. In Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
Oh, man. And you see the babies walking around, too. I mean, I love peacocks. I think they're beautiful. But
you don't want to live next
I would
to them.
also be crying foul
Who's
if
this
they lived
neighbor
next
who
door to
brought
us.
them
Yeah.
in? I bet they are getting some
I think they were
looks
gone.
when they're walking
yeah,
their
they're
dog.
gone.
Yeah.
Well, all right, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now with a look at our forecast.
Yeah.
And you had a little bit on the radar earlier.
A little bit on the radar, and we should see more over the next couple of hours,
Yeah.
mainly west of Orlando. Late evening thunderstorms, and there they are, mainly along into the west or northwest of I-4 this evening. A few lightning strikes, especially in Sumter County. I was watching that cell for you guys around Bushnell into Coleman. There's that lightning strike again. It's striking far away from the parent thunderstorm tonight. Look how far back it is, also almost to the Lake County line. So again, please be careful out there. Lightning detection on your free News 6 weather app. You see the pop-up right there. Download that for free. And again, when lightning is within that 10-mile radius, you're going to get a push alert to let you know to hightail things inside for a little bit of time. Then you can use the radar to track where those storms are to your location. So Webster, we are getting wet right now. Again, those lightning strikes striking far away from the parent thunderstorm will take you up to a little beefy thunderstorm here. Nothing severe at this time. Some gusty winds, some strong, some gusty winds, some very heavy rainfall, lots of lightning in and around Pearson. This is just south of Astor, lifting to the north. I will turn the loop on for you so you can see exactly where this cell developed from and where it is going if it's going to play with me tonight. There we go. We see that sliding back up towards Interlochen and eventually to the east of Ocala and McIntosh tonight. Now, the rest of the evening, we're going to focus things on along into the west of I-4 again. There were 7 to 8 o'clock scattered thunderstorms lingering at about that time. Notice, though, for us from Yeehaw Junction to Palm Bay, Rockledge, Titusville, Mims were mainly on the dry side the rest of tonight. There's 6 to 7 o'clock tomorrow. I think we start things off with sunshine, and then once we get into the early afternoon, We're going to be on the drier side as well. There's lunchtime, hardly a shower out there, maybe a stray shower along the coast to start. A couple of thunderstorms bubble back up with the heating of the day, but that's it. Rain chances tomorrow start to go down only at about 40%. They're even lower getting into the weekend. Here's a live look, Port Canaveral, Brevard County, with temperatures hanging tight in the upper 80s right now. Lots of sunshine, the breeze helping to feel this a little better when you're close to it. The breeze at about 15 miles an hour tonight. Now here's a look at tomorrow.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Temperatures start to warm up a little bit more. We're back to the mid-90s in Leesburg, 94 in Wildwood. Sanford, we're at 94. Rain chances again dropping to 40%. It's all in part because of this big chunk of high pressure. This one's in the upper levels of the atmosphere. It's hanging off our coast, but this weekend it pretty much slides on top of us. We know these guys, again, about 15 to 20,000 feet above our head. They promote air to sink. When air sinks, it warms up. It heats up, and that's going to help to keep our thunderstorms limited at best over the weekend. But it's also going to cause our temperatures to soar. Look at this forecast. Again, 95 degrees tomorrow, 40% shot for thunderstorms as we move through Friday. Those go even lower Saturday and Sunday. I think there will be a storm or two out there for the weekend. Most of us, though, are going to be on the dry side. It's going to be a great beach weekend, great pool weekend. Temperatures staying into the mid to upper 90s early next week, and then rain chances get back to where they typically should be for this time of the year, guys, early to the middle part of next work week.
Jonathan, thank you.
Sports Director Jamie Say is here. Jamie, a very cool road trip in UCF's future.
Yeah, super cool. The basketball team is going to head to one of the meccas of college basketball. That's on the way. Plus, more from the Gators at SEC Football Media Days. As we go to break, though, the first round of golf's final major is in the books overseas. 5 players are tied for the lead at 4 under at the Open. Scottie Scheffler is 1 shot back after a 3 under 68 today. Welcome back to News 6. Tomorrow could provide extra motivation to the Florida Gator football team. The SEC preseason media poll will be released, and the Gators will find out what others think of them. Now, expectations about Florida seem to be higher this summer compared to any other year in head coach Billy Napier's tenure. And one reason is his roster was not obliterated by the transfer portal. A number of his original recruits have stuck with him. Florida did lose 5 defensive players to SEC rivals since the spring, but on offense, the Gators return 8 starters.
When we talk about expectation, I think the important part is what we expect from each other. Not only do you need to block out noise, but it's absolutely necessary that you do it. I think if you look at who's had success over the last couple of years, it's veteran teams that have really good connection. When I think about expectations, I think about what we expect from each other.
An upcoming basketball game that will not count in the win-loss column is extremely meaningful to UCF hoop coach Johnny Dawkins. Here's why. Today, the Knights and the Duke Blue Devils announced they're going to play a preseason game on October 21st at Cameron Indoor Stadium in North Carolina. It's a homecoming for Dawkins, who was a star at Duke in the late 80s. In a statement from UCF, Dawkins says in part, quote, it's always special, going back to Duke. To have the opportunity to bring our UCF team there, to compete in that environment and be part of something meaningful is an honor, end quote. Dawkins, not forgotten in Durham either. Duke coach John Shire says, quote, Johnny is truly one of the pillars of Duke basketball. His jersey hangs in the rafters, and his legacy is felt every day within our program, end quote. Moving on to soccer, Orlando City may still be processing what happened last night at Enrico Stadium. The Lions uncharacteristically gave away the ball and gave away a game.
New York City coming away with it here, and they're coming with a full head of steam. And it's a sliding missed tackle by Thor Holson. New York City are through.
So that was the game-winning goal for New York City FC in the visitors' come-from-behind 2-1 victory over Orlando City. Lions held a 1-0 lead until the 87th minute. Then they allowed an equalizer, which was an own goal.
That was rough.
And then they allowed that one, which, yeah, it was a rough. Rough is right, yes.
All right, thank you, Jamie.
Yep.
Join us for our next newscast at 11 o'clock.
Have a good night.
Here, 7 to 8, and 5, 4, 3, 2.
The hottest stretch of weather so far this summer arrives for your weekend. We are pinpointing how hot it gets coming up tonight at 11.
3 to 4, and 5,